Another BFL in the books and playing your fish on this episode of Co-Angler's Corner. Welcome back to the Frugal Muse Studios for this episode of Co-Angler's Corner. I'm Russell Olson. Today on the show, we got a little bit to unpack, so I'd like to go ahead and get started here. It's a nice hot day today as I'm recording this. It's supposed to be up in the 90s today. So me personally, if I have to choose below zero temperatures or super hot temperatures, give me that heat any day. So anyhow, want to start talking about the BFL. Last weekend's BFL, it was a little tougher. I did get fish, but not what I was hoping for really. But believe it or not, I actually still went up in the ranks on a day where I figured I'd be tumbling down a little bit. But I actually went up another rank in the points, so that's obviously positive. I'm still in a good spot to qualify for regional. I really do want to have a really good tournament, next tournament in August up in Winneconne. So it'll be a little bit different because we're going to be fishing in August, and we usually fish that tournament in June. So getting back to this BFL, we started out launching out of the what was that place called? Washington Park in Prairie du Chien. We went ahead and locked up to pool 9. Yeah, it was a tough start. We did a lot, especially the first half of the day, or 2/3 of the day. I feel like we did more running than we did fishing, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta make that long run. It was definitely a tough start to the day. My partner didn't even start getting fish till like mid-morning. So yeah, it was it was not easy. We started early that day. We started we launched at 5:30, which is quite early. They'll probably be doing that in August too, since it'll still be in the meat of the meat of summer. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we locked up to 9. And we did some more, ran further beyond that. So I ended up what did I get my fish on? Something unexpected. I don't even remember off the top of my head. Like I said, it was nothing spectacular, but like I said, I got some points. So that's what counts. I was really worried that we were going to get locked out. We went to lock back down because we knew barges were coming, and there was a small barge, and then a big barge was just getting into the lock as we got there. Yeah, we were a little bit. We were most definitely worried. A little bit. Oh, I remember what I got fish on now. It was a chatterbait. Sorry, you couldn't. Like I said, it wasn't anything to write home about. It took me a minute to remember what I got my fish on. Anyway, yeah, I thought we were gonna get locked out. Luckily, that barge only took about an hour to get through, and there's another one right behind it, so we were worried about it coming around the corner and basically locking us out, where we wouldn't be able to get back in time for check-in time, which our check-in time was 1:45 that day. We're second flight. So yeah, like I said, got lucky in that aspect. It wasn't the easiest day though. A few mental mistakes. One thing, you don't have to make sure your bails click before you yank your rod back, but it helps. So yeah, I kind of pressure overrun a couple of my reels, and I got those respooled and taken care of this last week after the tournament. So they're ready to go. So, well, we got back. It wasn't the most eventful BFL other than that, like I said, a few couple of things. But that's, that's really, all I have to say, about the BFL. Like I said, hopefully I hope to have a really good tournament in Winneconne. Keep me in line to get back to regional this year, which would be really awesome. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is something that bit me last tournament on a good fish, playing my fish. One thing I've been discovering this season, and when I haven't set my reels right, it has cost me about playing my fish. So start off, the big thing I noticed is, and if there's one takeaway out of this conversation, it's setting your drag. Okay. In general, I've been noticing that, and this kind of started when I had this thought in my head. I noticed when you're pulling it right off the line versus when you're pulling it from the tip of the rod, little difference in tension there. So, and that kind of got me thinking about things that as the season started, and what I've been finding, if you're gonna err, what I've been finding personally for me is I want to err on the loose side. So when you set your hook, you still want to make those fast half dozen cranks to get the fish coming to you and hopefully get the hook point into their mouth good, so they don't come off. Now, no matter what you do, it's just the nature of the beast. You're never going to have 100% landing rate as much as you'd like. But I've found that I've had better luck, because I personally do get a little bit excitable wanting to reel in. But one thing I've tried to do is just get tension on my rod, keep tension on my rod, and then just kind of let the fish play him out. If he wants to go, let him go. The drag will either just hold it or it'll allow a line to come out. And that's fine. A little bit of patience is required there. I found, and as I was saying, this past tournament, it killed me a little bit. I had the drag set a little bit too tight, and you get too much tension, and the hook can rip out. I don't understand. Even on single hook lures, on my treble hook lures, like crankbait, jerkbait, so on and so forth, I've wanted that a little more give in my rod and maybe a little looser drag anyway, so I've been doing that a long time, with those, because those you will rip out of their mouth. If you try to horse them, with them, you gotta let them play out. Even getting back to single hooks, worm hooks, chatterbait hooks, and stuff like that. You still gotta play them out. Yeah, you still, just the important thing. I like to try to keep a 90-degree angle on my rod, but I will let the feel of the tension, and it's something you'll just get used to having a feel for once you do it more. How much tension you start, the slightest loss in tension, you reel. You reel like crazy. I mean, even if your spool don't move, just keep reeling. Just keep reeling if you're losing tension. Because that fish will eventually come to you. It might be a fight. Hopefully what I'm kind of thinking is hoping if you fight a little longer, that hook will dig in further. I don't know. But that is what I've been finding here. This has been a big takeaway from this year so far. Is about landing my fish and playing my fish and everything else like that. Like I said, a lot of what I've been talking about, I've kind of been doing with my treble hook baits for a long time. Maybe not as loose as the treble hook baits, or not as much play, but you still want to keep right amount of tension on it. And as you practice, it's something you'll feel, and you'll feel when you know you're doing it wrong too, because your fish won't be able to find, and you'll start losing fish. So I've had my heart broken a few times this season already, because of that. One major exception to that: frogs. Whether it be the single hook ribbit frogs, or if it's my double hooked River to Sea Fat Matt Daddies. When I'm working those frogs, really heavy cover especially, that's my exception. I will tighten that drag as hard as tight as I can. So when I set the hook on that fish, he's coming. You can't let them get hung up in the weeds. You're going to be in trouble. Even with big 65-pound braid, you can't give those fish a single inch at all. So that's my opinion on fighting fish. Everybody's different. Some people like to tighten their drag on everything. I don't know. Like I said, I've been noticing a little bit when I've got my drag set, maybe on a touch looser side. I feel like it might take me just a little bit longer to get them in. It might be good for me because, like I said, I do get excitable and reel, and in worst case scenario, your spool just won't move, which is fine. It's like I said, even if it takes me a few extra minutes, all I care about is getting that fish to the boat. So guys, like I said, that's pretty much it on that. Feel free to comment your opinions below. If you like what I do here, if you could do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Hit that bell, those notifications, and check out some of the links below. Hopefully they bring some value to you. It would help me out and be greatly appreciated. Speaking of appreciation, I always want to thank Frugal Muse Books. They've always backed me over the years here, and they're backing you too, because they have really great prices on books and videos. That I'll guarantee you Dave and crew over there will take care of you. So that's it for now. Until next time, guys, go get 'em.